You're watching Off the Top News. This is Kero Valentine. I got two pieces of big news for you right now. First is an update on Seth Rollins' condition, and second is Okada potentially being WWE bound. So first of all, Seth Rollins, as you know, he tweaked his knee, and as far as we know, that wasn't just a work. He actually got injured in the match. We don't know the extent of the injury, but it seems like, according to what WrestleVote has said, he will come out this Monday and address the situation. So we will know if he can make it to WrestleMania. We will know if this injury is real, which might lead to a vacation of the title. He might just drop the title right in the middle of the ring and leave. Some people are saying that this is fake. They're gonna reel us in, make us think like he's gonna retire or put the belt, but then fake it. This is how they're gonna start CM Punk versus Seth Rollins officially, with Seth Rollins being the heel. There's a lot that can happen. I'm hoping that it's not a legit injury. They fake us out, they do something, or Seth Rollins just comes up and says, hey, you know what? I'm a little injured right now, but I can make it to WrestleMania, so don't worry about it. And the best case scenario is, of course, he comes out there and he says, I'm completely fine. You know, let's continue as scheduled. CM Punk, get your butt out here. Because if it's, I don't know, if it's anything else, especially the injury being real, that's going to be sad for everybody involved, because I mean the entire wrestling world was looking forward to Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Now that's in jeopardy. Now let's get to our second piece of news, which is Kazuchika Okada heavily being wanted in the WWE. Here's a quote tweet from WrestleOps. That quotes Sports Illustrated. There's a significant interest from WWE, specifically from Triple H and Shawn Michaels, to land Kazuchika Okada. Okada has always wanted to perform at WrestleMania, and Triple H is aware of this. Now, if you remember, back in the day, Triple H really wanted to get Kushida, right? He always talked about how great of a star he would be, and eventually what happened? Kushida was in NXT, never made it to the main roster, but the example is Kushida was another wrestler that Triple H really talked about, wanted to get into the company. So we're talking about a much taller wrestler, much more charismatic wrestler, no disrespect to Kushida, and a wrestler that is at the top of wrestling in New Japan, and thereby arguably in the entirety of Japan. So one of the biggest names in Japan you can potentially get. And unlike Hiroshi Tanahashi, he isn't that old, right? He's still got a lot of left in him. A lot of fights, a lot of matches. He always made it a point to speak a bit more English in his promos so he can learn more English as well. I would say that's his only hurdle, because in the ring he'll be completely fine if you put him against anybody. Just like Gunter, for example, you're gonna get an amazing match. He's not gonna get lost in the shuffle like Kushida faced the danger of doing that, because, well, Okada is way taller than Kushida. And you know that matters a lot in WWE. In fact, it matters in New Japan as well. And again, we gotta mention the lineage. I mean, he was right in front of Kenny Omega for those 7-star matches, 6.5 star or whatever matches. Sure, the casual fan doesn't know who Okada is, but everybody else that watches wrestling a bit more than the usual fan, they've heard of Okada, or most likely they've seen a match of him. I believe Okada is way more tailor fit for the WWE. If you look at what he did with AEW, he kind of dipped his toes there, and that was it. The only reason it felt like he went to was because of events like Forbidden Door. He did like rarely any segments, not more than one. He did one segment and the match. I think that was the exact same thing that happened both years. In fact, this year or last year in 2023, he might have not even done a segment. The reason I'm telling you this is because if he wanted to go to AEW, you would think that we would see him there, right? A lot more. So that's another sign that points to WWE. Here's another big sign. This is a picture that Shinsuke Nakamura posted on Instagram, and just focus on the likes right there. Liked by Rainmaker X Okada. Very interesting. Obviously doesn't confirm anything, but in my opinion, 90% Okada is ending up in the WWE, because all the other small signs, the bigger ones, they're just pointing at the WWE and not at all at AEW. I'll leave you with one last thing. Remember how they had a match with Will Ospreay and like how they hugged each other as if they're saying farewell? If they were both going to AEW, do you think they would be that emotional? Obviously, they would try to fake it to not give away the surprise, but I don't know. It really felt like, hey man, we might not see each other ever again, because with Ospreay, you're going to AEW, I'm going to the WWE, so let's hug it out for one last time. But anyways, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. This has been OTT News, and I'll see you in the next one.